Alright, looks like I should be live, and of course, as always, give me just one moment to deal with my current issue, trying to get the tools working appropriately here. Hey, there we go. Alright, everything's here, everything's loading up. Holy cow, I'm hoping, drastically, that things actually went smoothly, and that means there's not going to be any serious issues. Awesome. So, I didn't do a whole lot in between this session and last session, which is a little different than what I've normally done. Hey, Rigid, how are things going? Obviously, welcome to the stream. But yeah, how's your day been? What's new? Anyways, as I was covering, I didn't do a whole lot in between streams. Recently, I've been doing a little bit of grinding here and there. But since I didn't feel comfortable doing any of the missions, especially while I was getting ready to get access to one of my favorite characters in Disc 1, which, by the way, I'm still not sure if I should refer to it as Game 1 or Disc 1, because it is overall a total quadrology. I'm sure that's probably not the right term, but it's what I'm going to go with. But I just decided I was going to look up and actually have some notes here of a couple locations that I'm going to want to check out during this stream after I unlock the new characters. Believe I have access to 2 of them based on the board posts that we saw. But yes, in theory, there should be some pretty good gear there. I believe, yeah, we also got an email here from Mistral. Kite, you like beef stew? I'm really good at making beef stew. In our house, we add butter in the end. Then, even if you use cheap beef, it's still really good. It genuinely a really good tip, but also, if you have access to it, when I make beef stew, I actually add a little bit of heavy cream. I don't do that at the very end while it's super hot, but like right before serving, I'll add a little bit of heavy cream. It thickens up the broth, and it will very much do something very similar to what she's aiming at here. When you're doing that, what you're doing is you're introducing a lot of the milk fats from your butter. And if you don't know, if you have ever done any serious cooking, within reason, your fat is your flavor profile from a lot of your meats. Absolutely, good cooking tip. Gonna send her the thumbs up. And I'm kind of excited to get to share one of my favorite characters with you guys. Unfortunately, I do know that we're not gonna get a lot of the character interactions with her. If I remember right, her initial showcasing is very limited. I think I still have... Yep, we have Pyros to go help out. So we'll do that one first, but your first interaction with her is very limited, but is also very, how do I say this? It gives you insight into the oddity of her character and kind of why she's one of my favorites from this disc. A lot of the characters we get access to right now are kind of bland and basic, or they're very story specific. Mia, Elk, Mistral, Black Rose. Mistral not so much, but Mistral's is essentially iconic to the party. She's gonna be in many, many, many combat scenarios. But yeah, Black Rose, Mia, Elk, they're gonna be a lot more of your story-driven characters, and they're gonna be the ones that you're gonna get to know a lot more about. The other characters are gonna be a lot of the background information. Let's see if I can get Mistral right now. Oh, wait, I should also drop a few things off and probably consider doing some shopping, because I'm going to be needing a lot of restoration items. Let's see what I'm sitting on right now. Alright, I do have access to a couple more twin blades. That's good for trading. That's also good for sending around. Keep the charge axe. Store the golden axe. Store the silver axe. I feel like that's going to be really good for some of our heavy characters, but I can't give any of this to Pyros right now. He's not going to have any opportunity to give it to him until after the mission anyways, and this one's kind of funny. At the end of the last session, he was pranked by Mia. And I don't think we ever really get details as to why. I left work an hour early because someone else covered Someone else covered so many of my usual tasks, wasn't left much with as much work to do. Wow. Can I read? The answer is no. It's pretty annoying, but at least it gave me an excuse to get off early. So, yeah, that means you're unfortunately missing an hour's pay, essentially. I know there's a multitude of ways to think about that approach. If you've ever been out shopping around or whatever, and you're constantly thinking like, you know, oh, I need to put the cart back in the cart rack. I need to not leave too many messes. If I pick something up off the shelf and I'm not going to buy it, I need to walk it all the way back and put it right back where I picked it up. First of all, just generally good habits to have, you know, kinds of signs of being a decent person, in my opinion at least. Not like they're guaranteed hard and fast rules, but indicative of. But also, the other school of thought is, it is somebody's job to do that, and if they don't have those tasks, they don't have their job. So, you take it within reason, but, you know, every so often there are things that by doing them, as long as it's not problematic, like don't leave your shopping cart in the middle of the parking lot where it's gonna, you know, the wind's gonna catch it and it's gonna roll into someone's vehicle or something, cause some scratches. As long as you're not doing anything damaging there. I believe this is where we're going. Then, yeah, you know, there is the argument, at least, about giving people a job to do now. On the flip side of that, if you're just going to be a see you next Tuesday about it, might consider just, you know, being a halfway decent person. Holy cow. These guys are weak to lightning, if I recall. I actually think I fight a lot of these guys at various... Yeah, I don't want to use this gear. There we go. Also, we're getting some really goofy music from Pyros here. I don't remember if I get good gear from these guys, but I remember fighting these guys very often, so I imagine they're probably pretty consistently common with the endgame enemies. Well, Keegs, I am not currently cooking, but it seems like you have been pretty busy in the kitchen, and quite well with it, too. Alright. Get on past these guys. Oh, shit, they drained my magic, too, though. Alright, so right now my objective is really just getting through here and trying to get Pyros back up and running. I'm gonna make use of this, see if I can't... Ooh, nope. Let's drop the Ryokugan in here. See what we manage to get. But yeah, I kind of want your pudding recipe. I don't think I've ever made pudding from scratch.
That's just what the go.
Alright, there we go. Managed to get the, managed to get some more axes. Again, I kind of want to have a surplus of these when and where able. So, burning through a couple items here, not a big problem. Actually, we're not even burning through them, I'm getting them back. But yeah, I've done a lot in the kitchen. I am no stranger to cooking. I've also done a lot of baking and, you know, various other confectioning. You listed off, it's not a lot of things I haven't done, but surprisingly, I've never done. Pyros, buddy, I love you. Shut your face. I get it. You want to go do this mission, and you will not talk about anything else. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna burn through a mage's soul. It's gonna slap me. It's gonna drain my magic. Okay, nope. I was waiting for it. But yeah, actually making homemade pudding is not something I've ever done. I'm a very basic bitch when it comes to that. I'm either getting the packets and just kind of making it If I want something a little extra, I might make it with a little bit of cream to, you know, thicken it up a little bit. But other than that, it's either that or it's the classic pudding cups.
Mushroom.
I also want to know fully, like, when you get around to eating it, let me know if it was worth the effort too, because, like, I could see that being one of those things where it's like, yeah, it was good, but it wasn't worth the effort. Especially when, if you have access to it, you can just make a pudding box yourself.
Invisible egg.
Alright, I think what I'm looking for Pyros is actually scattered all throughout. And there's gonna be... Oh my god, shut the fuck up. I love him, but like... You're sending me out here, you're not gonna talk to me about anything else. It's a repeated voice line. It bugs me. And the thing is I think this is one of the only times it comes up. There might be another mission like this later on in the game, like he falls for it a second time or something. But it only happens with Pyros, and it's only for a few of these missions, and I don't even know if they limit his conversations on the future ones. Like, I hope they realize that, like, it was a bad decision and they correct it in the future ones, but I don't remember if they do. Got my bacon cheeseburger, sweet potato fries, and yeah, of course, watching The Handsome Man. No, Good Friday was a while back. That was the whole, like, you know, Jesus story thing. Everybody lost their shit when, afterwards Trump did that whole I'm Christ as a healer doctor thing. Yeah, that was the Good Friday time. And based on who you ask, having a reason to bitch and moan about Donald Trump might be the best Friday that they had all year.
Invisible egg.
Alright, gotcha. Give me the eggs. I also want to look up a breeding list. That sounds so weird in context to what I'm talking about here. No breeding Trump. Anyways, no, a breeding list for the grunties. I had oh geez. I had Gemini come up with the recipe, but it looks like it came out good. Gonna chill for another hour, then fix some of my ramen. Alright, yeah, I have looked into... What did I just get hit with? Alright, magic accuracy down. Not too bad. So yeah, anyways, I have had AI try to take recipes that I know work and try to tweak them for certain other things. And I'll be honest, I've never had them come out quite the way that the AI wants to promote the changes as doing. And part of the problem is, while functionally something might look good on paper, which is why I ask about it in the first place, which is why I've stopped doing it altogether myself. While something might functionally look good on paper, it doesn't account for how things work together as far as flavor profiles or the chemistry that comes into play when baking. And especially proportions. Like, I have looked at things where it's just like, none of this seems to make sense, because imagine you're going to make like a single pancake and you know you're using a small amount of flour there. At this point, you're kind of measuring things by eye, but say you're making like a singular pancake in the breakfast or something like that, right? And you ask AI for a list and it's gonna give you like, oh yeah, for one pancake, you're only gonna need like the whites of one egg or something like that. You're only gonna need this much oil or butter or whatever you're using for that purpose. And then it's gonna get to the flour and it's gonna be like, by the way, you're gonna need like 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. It's just because like the AI system just doesn't know what it's grabbing from, and it just starts grabbing random shit. Alright, is it in this room? Or am I wrong and it's not in any of these? Okay, here we go.
That is indeed the cure. Please.
Wait, Trump isn't the reincarnation of Jesus? I've been praying to him this whole time. No. Based on who you ask, Trump could in fact be the Antichrist. And you know what's funny about that is, you know, again, as somebody who voted for him, as somebody who is not quite as pissed off as many other people have been recently, obviously I do have my criticisms. We've talked about that all over the place. But no, I'm not making that joke. Anyways. I had a joke pop in my head about Trump's ass, and I completely forgot it now, and I forgot what I was going to say before. So anyways, avoiding that topic altogether and going back to the pancake complaint. Yeah, it just like starts doing the AI hallucination issue, where it starts out giving me like it knows contextually I want one pancake. But then it's just like, but all of the pancake recipes I can find are like all of this flour. Obviously the flour is like super important.
Golden egg.
But yeah, no. Oh, it's the Antichrist comment. That's where I was going. Yeah, no. If based on certain arguments, you could actually justifiably make the claim that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. But that's based on very skewed and interpretive readings of the classic prediction scenarios. There are very similarly strong arguments that Obama's the Antichrist, or you know, I believe I have heard somewhere a compelling argument that the entirety of the governing body of governing, loosely used here, of like one element of the one dynasty within the Roman Catholic Church is the embodiment of the Antichrist. Well, obviously, you know, the apocalypse hasn't happened yet, so can't quite be that.
That must be it. Please give it to me.
My mom thinks he is, but I'm fairly certain she has TDS. Like I said, you know, plenty of good criticisms to go around about the man, but like, you can make the argument that there's a lot out there that is, you know, quote unquote, the Antichrist. Alright, so this one is still also not the right the right remedy. You know, one thing I've never done is a lot of the dungeons have like a reset condition when you leave and come back. He's already taken the antidote items. I've never considered, and I'm not going to do it now because it's just going to make things longer than they need to be, but leaving the dungeon while he's partially cured, leaving the entire area, coming back fresh, and seeing if it resets everything. Alright, there we go. Seeing if it resets everything and gives you the opportunity to try other remedy mixtures. The order of operations, I'm just grabbing them as I go down, but I don't even think you have to do that. But yeah, there's probably a compelling argument that can be made to make me the Antichrist. I'm just saying, like, it's... when you're taking things in heavy interpretive strides, it's the kind of like, show me the man, I'll show you the crime argument. You can just make something fit whatever dogmatic interpretation you want. Hey Rich, how are things going? Hopefully things are going well, and I didn't say that to Keegs, I don't think. Anyways, Keegs, I know things are going well. Motherfucker's got pudding in the fridge. Look, given the context of the conversation in the Discord, this is gonna sound weird, but man's got a chocolatey treat he's looking forward to. And I don't know how to make that not weird contextually for myself. And you know what? I'm not gonna apologize for it. Been here for a bit, couldn't type, eating pizza. Yo, pizza's so good. I got tried out a new location of pizza recently. It's a place my brother's picked one up locally before. And again, I'm not gonna name it because it's probably gonna, you know, say too much about where I am. But it's a place I've never been to. My brother picked a pizza up there. It was fantastic. You know how a lot of places will do like the garlic parmesan thing if you ask them? Well, this place not only does the ever classic garlic parmesan if you want it, but they have like an entire special house herb blend butter sauce that they do, and my god, it makes the crust so good. Add to it, they've just got a generally good crust base as it is. It's airy but crispy throughout. It's just a solid crust. I'll be honest, I know of other places that you can get a better sauce. I know of places that will like just treat you right on the toppings. But if you're wanting just a solid pizza and like the crust is the part that you're least looking forward to, this place, and I wish I could name drop it, but it's gonna be self-reporting where I live. The crust was so tasty. Greasy phone isn't fun. Oh no, you're just not using it right, Kigs.
Well, almost.
Alright, I think there is one more recipe in the area. I'm getting a lot of these green gales, but honestly, I would think I'd be more upset about it than I am. But the green gales as an item is a decent multi-hit spellcasting option. And let me see here. Having access to a lot of these in the later parts of the game are kind of meaningless. But in this earlier point, sorry about that. In the earlier point, having a lot of these spellcasting items is great. I mentioned how the big boss fights in these games are unfortunately just incredibly lengthy fights. You're going through entire sections of the boss fight where you're more trying to hit like a certain behind the scene counter limit that you can't even see. I don't know if it's a hit counter or a damage counter, but it doesn't tell you up front, and you're waiting until you can trigger the data drain effect so that you can finally start hurting the enemy again. And it's a little bit annoying, but also it does mean that, you know, unlike with other games and their boss fights, you know that it can be beat because you do eventually start to get like do damage to it before it triggers the ability to stop you from doing damage again. So you know you're making progress, but a lot of it is behind the scene and kept out of view from you, the player. And so it's kind of... It makes certain parts of it feel a little bit more tense than they otherwise would. Alright, another green gale, and I'm not going to use any of my fortune wire on any of these. Mostly because I know I'm going to be going to some areas that are going to be a little bit more specific. I believe at least 2 of these that I have listed, possibly 3, are actually locations that are listed in some of the OVAs tied to this franchise. Did Pyros just say on Dasher? Dude out here thinking he's Santa. Alright, here we go, last one. The first remedy, which is not the first one I grabbed. And to clarify, we don't order pizza as often as saying that would have you think. The place we got from started delivering 5 days ago. We already ordered from there twice. Yeah, I'll be honest, it's kind of the same with me. As much as I love pizza, I do not eat it as often as I wish I could. For a while, I was probably eating pizza like once a week, and that's just because when I would host my D&D campaigns, it was not uncommon for me or my brother to pick up several pizzas and bring them to the campaign and just share them with everybody. And so, you know, I might buy several pizzas, but realistically, you're only eating like 2, if you're lucky, 3 slices.
Good for
Yes, I'll give you this to show my appreciation.
I don't remember what Pyros' diary does.
Thank you.
May the stars shine upon you.
Also, really weird item to get from somebody that they just give you their diary. But anyways, like I was saying, this new pizza place, my brother picked up a pizza. I absolutely loved it. I've already eaten from there twice myself, and that is twice this week alone, and that is not something I normally do. And I absolutely feel like a fat ass for it. Alright, let me stock up on some Mage's Souls. I'm gonna want at least... God, I almost feel like I want more than that. I don't think I have the money for it, but if I'm gonna buy bigger, better ones, I might just have to go to the other location and buy the better equipment. Anyways, let's go check the emails, build up our party, and now that we've gotten the Pyro story out of the way, I can go get Gardenia. New information for the test story of the world. It's true, a player... I don't remember if we read that. Okay. A player committed word that YouTube absolutely hates during the test period, but it had nothing to do with the game, I swear. The developers came out and said as much in an interview. They wouldn't lie, ever. There's a game called Fragment in a magazine from 2 years ago, and I love Fragment. One of the reasons that Gardenia is one of my favorite characters is because in the Fragment game, every time I build a character in there, I tend to lean towards doing the polearm characters. They have a faster attack than the heavy blades. They're not as basic bitch as the blade masters. I play a lot of, you know, the twin blades when I play through the basics of the game. Personally, I'm not super sold on the big heavy axe guys, so they're kind of just the default for me to go to. They get access to a decent number of spells without having to be a spellcaster, and they can attack. They attack fairly fast, and they hit harder than a twin blade. So, kind of just a really good, simple, streamlined jack of all trades, master of none. And because I play through that game relatively soloed, because it was meant to be an MMO, you can play it with other people. You are supposed to be able to build out a party to go through. Because I play through it solo, I kind of need access to having that many skill options. That's the one. The title and the menu design changed, but the game itself seems to be the same. Oh, and some items were also deleted. There have been some weird problems ever since the last server problem. I wonder what's up. Some people say it's a virus. Well, this is back in the whole Y2K era where nobody understood really what computer viruses were because computers were weird magic mystical machines that just kind of did things that the programmers told it to do. Nobody could ever understand the actual language going in and coming out, but we just knew that you push buttons and magic happened. When we went to the dungeon of Quiet Eternal White Devil, nothing was there, right? I thought it was a hoax, so I emailed, Marin, was it? Well, anyways, I emailed her. She wouldn't reply to me, but I kept pestering her, and guess what? Someone changed those keywords. She was freaked out about it too. The actual keywords are cursed, despaired paradise. So there you go. I seem to recall that it was something about changing the area, and I wasn't too far off. They changed the area words. My bad. But yeah, they definitely gave us the full details there. I didn't recall if we actually got the details of it or not, but glad we get the answer to it now. Kite, do you buy groceries? I get dragged to carry stuff. I was surprised to find out things. Yeah, that's the one to go with. Food is expensive and it makes me sad. Food is so good and the expenses are so bad. Alright, so I know that we're going to go recruit Gardenia. I know that means I want Mistral on the lineup. Oh shit. Oh no! Wait. Okay. Currently, I'm a little limited on who I can take with me. This sucks a lot.
Playing tag with me is not a game anymore.
So I know that I am here solo, so I can just kind of deal with this. I don't have a choice right now but to be solo. Alright, there we go. Dealt with him.
I give up. Looks like my info wasn't much use in a game of tag.
Alright, that still doesn't give me the full kit for the goblins. I'm going to go drop this off, and I am going to have an emotional breakdown by the fact that I can't have any party members, and I'm still going to go try to recruit Gardenia because that is the main primary objective of what I'm working towards today. Alright, store the goblin gloves. The golden axe. The silver axe. Oh! Why? Yeah, I'm just gonna not use that. Just willingly read it and reduce your magical defense. Why? I wonder if it's going to trigger the event even if I'm solo. I don't know if I can clear the area, but, like, I'm going to try.
Theta, cursed despaired paradise. You're gonna go, right?
Wait, was I just locked out because they didn't want me to do anything on that server?
Okay.
Weird. Can I, please? Alright, well, I'm not solo. I'm not a full group, but I can go there with Black Rose and see what I can get here. Okay. I'm not up shit creek without a paddle yet. Yeah, Key come out because first of all, like I said, AI recipes, I don't personally have a good history of trying to develop something with AI's assistance like that. But also, like if it comes out, I have those ingredients. I have all of that. So if it works well, I just might make some myself tonight, especially because I believe after this we were talking about doing a group watch party once again. Also, I've got it. What? Anyways, yeah, so far the level here has been surprisingly kind. It's just giving me a lot of items. I kinda want to be a lazy scrub. Alright, yep. It's gotta throw enemies at me at some point, right? Like, it's not gonna be nice the whole time.
You look pretty tough.
Please give this to Miss Gardenia.
Right. So...
No, I don't want it.
It's not for you. Please be
Wait.
careful with it. And don't you dare throw it away.
Why do I not remember this? Everyone that's part of the Gardenia fan club is female.
Hurry,
Wait. Are you?
hurry, okay? Men.
Ah.
You have to be strong to follow Miss Gardenia.
And so none of you are going in, right?
Gardenia went deep into the dungeon alone.
Well, look, if none of you are going to go after her, I'm about to go deep in her dungeon. That first lady's a friggin' bitch! How am I just getting so many good things right now, though?
Invisible egg.
Like, where's the combat part of this dungeon?
Invisible egg.
I was worried about coming in here because I was thinking, like, you know, 2 people is already down 1 party member and it was gonna be combat heavy. Also, I don't want to go through all of this, yeah, but it's just more chests. Wait, her fan club is all women and the area is full of chests. Based Gardenia. I approve. Alright, there we go. Finally got something here that wants to kill me. And it would be just a fat man in steel. Get consent first. Might make some coffee. Honestly, putting some coffee in your pudding mix might do a good thing there too, because pudding and chocolate kind of tend to help each other out there.
You seem to have no manners.
Oh no, I've heard that before.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you Miss Gardenia?
Yes, I am. What do you want?
Someone asked me to give this letter to you.
Someone?
I guess she's a fan of yours.
No, thank you.
Hold on, they want me to give you this. Now fuck that! Just takes off. I am burning through these fairies orbs, but like, I don't want to sit through too much of the dungeon here. If I'm already down a party member, I definitely don't want to be in a situation. Do I have? No, I don't have access to an earth skill yet.
Deathbringer! Staccato!
There we go.
Invisible egg.
And realistically, they're not too expensive of an item to burn through
But
either.
I promised.
They must have forced this upon you.
See, Keegs, you were telling me to get consent, and Gardenia understands. Like I said, based Gardenia. Those women
You could
forced
say
something
that.
upon me that I didn't want to be a part of.
Then it's not really a promise. Forget about it.
Alright, let me burn through a few more of these fairies orbs. Oh man, this one's gonna go all the way back. Alright. Papa Mage's spread. I almost said Mage's orb. I am not bothering with any of the trapped chests because all of that is going to be things I am going to have to buy replacements for, and I feel like I'm getting near the end. I've got Gardenia as one of the characters from this part of the game that is the additional special characters. I believe I've got Sanjuro, might be the other one. It's something with an S, and I can't remember specifically. And then I believe in this game, again, I might be wrong, but I think in this game we also meet Wiseman before the end of the game, and then we're kind of reaching the first major conflict with the waves of the Epitaph. Oh man, I'm digging deep into my brain for lore that might be wrong.
Yeah?
Oh wait, do I have on me any of my... Awesome, I can give her the Byakugan. We can take a look at that one.
Yeah?
Alright, you have to squint really hard when I give this to you, Black Rose, and make your entire face just burst with veins.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that's the Byakugan. Not gonna lie, that's actually really cool, though. This is a big-ass katana. I imagine she's got to be over in this area, right?
Golden egg.
I mean... Oh, no, it would be near the Got statue. That's right. Which is probably, judging by the fact that there's nothing to the north, just right across the other way? Yeah, that's definitely the Got statue over there. I'll check this out since I'm here, though. Well, I'll be darned, she is here. Alright. Threat dealt with. You're welcome. Give me your member address. Did you say Tanjiro? He's supposed to be saving his sister from Michael Jackson right now. No, Sanjuro with an S. It's basically Tanjiro, but like he's got the squiggly eyebrows and he's got like an obsession with cooking.
1, you will join my party when I summon you. And 2nd, do not call me Miss. That is all.
Again, there is just something I like about the character here who's just like, yeah, I'll join you from time to time, but you come when I call, not the other way around.
All right then. I'll be using an item to escape. Since those girls are probably waiting for me on B1.
She is giving all of those other girls the coldest of shoulders right now.
You did give her the letter, right? What? She used an item to get back?
You guys, we're off to Root Town!
I might be wrong, but I think that lady over there with the twin blades is using one of the later game gears. I don't know if that's Hell's Gate or the Dio's, is it Dio's blade or something? But I think that's one of the later game gears in Infection. So, objectively, she's kind of a halfway decent player. I don't know why she didn't just go in there herself. She was clearly competent. Alright. I am definitely going to save now that we got access to my favorite character, which of course means in between I can play this game to my heart's content and do whatever I so choose. I do want to get through this part of the story as well so that I can get access to my full party layout. After that, I do have a couple of main locations I want to check out. At least one of them, because there is an item that in this game is right now...
I don't have enough virus cores.
Alright, we can't get in.
Maybe the keywords for this place were on the original message, but someone modified it.
But yeah, it's an item that is functionally useless in this game, but I think in the next disc, it serves a purpose, but also I don't think you can get it outside of this disc of the game. So if you want the item, you have to get it now. If you don't get it before you start the next disc, I think you miss out on it.
My message was also.
Yeah. Sanji and Tanjiro combined. Also, just to spit in the face of Sanji, because Sanji can have nothing nice ever at all. It's the rules of One Piece. The man is also obsessed with not only being a swordsman, but specifically katanas.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I just have a bad feeling.
Alright, let's go check things out and see if we can figure out how we're going to get this virus core that we need. I think Helba's going to message me about that. I've never bought anything at the regular price. If you go when they're about to close, the fresh, expensive foods are more than half off. And I have to haggle it even lower. I know that you really just can't do that at like most of the places in America. You really don't get a lot of haggling opportunities. I do know though that there are a couple of locations that exist, but you kind of have to look out for them. I've mentioned before in my location that I do have a butcher that is like an actual old school classic butcher. The people running it are unfortunately getting older, so I have no idea how long it's going to remain open. But you can go there, literally like she's saying, when things are getting to the point where they're the things that people aren't really buying and they're about to be thrown out, you can start haggling and they will work with you on the price. They really don't drop it a whole lot, but you can go in there and like if you see $20 on the price tag already marked down, you might be able to swing an 18 out of them. Our gray cat, Evan, was just trying to sharpen his front claws. Oh, yeah, I assume you got him declawed. I am personally not a fan of that process, and I'm not trying to like say this against you personally, but my understanding of how that process is done is very similar to on people removing that topmost joint from your own fingers, and so. Because you don't ever really like declaw because the claws will grow back. You kind of just remove that part of the body surgically. And so while it's relatively harmless to the cat, it does disfigure it in my opinion. And I'm not gonna like beat anyone over the head for doing it because I understand it and I have given heavy thought to doing it myself. But it's just one of those things that I can't bring myself to do to my animals, you know? I haven't seen you in a while, so what's up? I want to see that cool trick again, so call me. We are in the, I can't remember, Gamma server? I can't remember which one that is. So let's play again sometime. Absolutely, send that out. You were kind of hopeless in the... I'm sorry! I was kind of hopeless? Who was the one in the church that couldn't even swing their weapon? All right, you know what? I'm gonna feed into it this way. I'm not gonna give her the leg up opportunity with the first message.
Give me a break. This is a super rare item. 9,999 GP. That's my final offer.
Is there a loan program available?
With a high interest rate, yeah.
Spare me from dead hell.
Dead hell. That's an awful sounding word.
Beyond awful.
Well then, that's the end of the negotiation.
How long have you been watching?
From when you asked about the loan.
Well, I'm the type that just has to collect every single item. That's why I get all emotional about it.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go for a walk and calm down.
Genuinely good advice about dealing with that shit.
Yes?
I have this Book of Iron. You interested? You are, right?
So we just learned out about one of the key factors that Mistral plays the game. And we are also about to find out that Aperion here, or Ape Iron? I'm going to go with Ape Iron, because we're about to find out the man is a bit of a douchebag.
Install this item, and it will nullify an attack from an enemy at a high percentage. How about it for 999 GP?
Excuse me? You just told Mistral it cost 9,999 GP.
You're kidding me, right? That's off by a whole digit. Well, she's not here anymore, so you buy this item. It'll come in handy. Trust me.
No thanks.
Don't be hasty, just buy it. There's nothing wrong with a little security.
But I don't need it.
Oh? You really are a hard sell. Hey, I got my pride too. I don't want your stinking money. Just shut up and take it.
I don't understand this guy at all.
Listen up. Watch out for a notorious hacker named Helma.
Okay, wait. Okay, I've got a dumb thought here.
Where'd that guy go?
He's gone.
Oh, I guess I was too late. I just sold everything I don't need. Oh, that reminds me. I overheard something over at the weapon shop. Theta, collapse momentary spiral. They say it's really dangerous. Let's go together. I want to see you do that skill again. Oh, come on.
Oh, all right.
All right, so my thought process here is, again, we're going to meet a character before long who is a network administrator. Like, they actually have a character in the game that they make use of when they have to do things up front and obvious. It's the same character model that we ran into in the in some of the dungeon areas. And I have never considered this because I always thought that that scene that plays out there was really weird. But I've never stopped to consider that the reason he price gouged Mistral so hard is he didn't want anybody else to be able to have access to the item. However, he definitely wanted me to have access to the item. As we saw already at the key items, where was that? The Book of Law was a prize that for something we didn't enter that was supposed to do something fantastic, and when we try to use it, it doesn't let us use it. I seem to recall this is going to work the same way. There we go. I've never actually stopped to consider that might have been the network server guy still trying to get access to having us rewrite our character data to get rid of the bracelet. I knew about the first time. I never stopped to think that he tried it a second time and was just playing as a false character. Kind of related, but the Family Guy joke where Peter doesn't know how to haggle is one of the... Honestly, yes. But I mean, Family Guy has a lot of golden opportunity. Quagmire exists in that show, and the concept of golden opportunities has a very different definition, and I don't appreciate what I just said about anything there. Apparently the claws almost got Evan on the stove when it was turned on back at Vicky's old house. And that's why he was declawed. I'm not a fan of it myself either, to be honest. All right. Yeah, it's just one of those things that, like, I don't want to fault people who do it to their cats, because here's the thing, right? Right now, we have an issue nationwide, and it's actually international. By the way, Markiplier recently did a video where he was taste testing, I don't know, like Korean snacks or something. Maybe it was Thailand snacks. I don't remember. In the video, he had a announcement that has gone a little bit viral if you pay attention to a couple of things here and there, but he has adopted an animal that was physically and emotionally in just rough shapes. And he has been doing fantastic work with this dog. And why I'm telling this story here is when you're talking about the concept of declawing an animal, you are still talking about an animal going to a home that wants to work with it, wants to love it, wants to take it, and wants to give it a home to be a part of. So if you're looking at the equation here in a sort of scale balance scenario of, would you rather have one more homeless cat, or would you rather have that cat in a loving home where it had to unfortunately be declawed? I'm not going to sit here and berate somebody who is going to partake in that practice when the end result is the cat being taken in and adopted to a loving home. So it is like, what is the lesser of two evils here? First of all, adopting the cat is never the evil. So, to do something that is unfortunately, the way I look at it, not favorable, but still getting the favorable outcome, I'll take that over, a homeless cat any day of the week. And maybe it is incredibly childish of me to look at it that way, but it's the kind of thing where the world doesn't work in black and whites. In order to make things work reasonably, you kind of have to accept a bit of gray here and there. Whoops, I want to go to the party. I want to add Mistral. Mistral's got to come in, obviously. And the thing I want to know about is whether or not we are in a spot that is safe for me to have Gardenia on my party.
It's you. I'm on my way.
All right, awesome. So right now I've basically got, in my world, the best party lineup here. Let me grab my notes so that I can check out one of these locations. Go to the other page. Let's see if we have access to this one. The other thing here is I might not have every keyword yet. So, dog, dancing, passionate, try-pansy. It's a high-level area, but I think I'm probably good for it. Oh, I don't have any fairies orbs. That's gonna possibly suck. Alright, no, I don't need one on the field because I can just run right over there. Awesome. Yeah, if the dungeon was off screen, I could end up doing a lot of running around and getting nowhere, but luckily I don't have that issue here. Oh, okay. You're gonna die laughing when you see the video I'm about to post in Borderline. I kind of hope the answer is yes. Could definitely use a little bit more of that spice up joy as of late. Alright, let's just burn through these while I can right now. I'll buy more when I do some of the off-screen grinding. Really, I'm not even needing to grind for a whole lot right now. I think, objectively, for the story, I'm not strong enough to beat the game, but I'm probably outfitted and equipped well enough to get to the end of the game, and so really just playing through the story beats is going to get me, strong enough to get there. What I'm really lacking right now is, as with all things in the real world, I am missing a sufficient amount of money. Alright, so I want the Swirling Dark, because these guys resist thunder. And thunder is the light. Oh, these bastards. Okay, nope, these guys have a really problematic dynamic. I'm gonna kill him, and I've got to get him off screen, damn it! As I recall, and I might be wrong about this, but I seem to recall that if you kill an enemy and then remove it from the screen in time... Alright, I'm just going to leave that one alive now. Yeah, if it's not on screen, the enemies actually can't bring it back to life. All right, I think I know what I'm gonna have to do here. Yep, there we go. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't on screen and it didn't get resurrected. The other thing you can do is data drain one of them, because even if they get resurrected, they're going to come back as the weaker version that you data drained them into. But I don't know why. I seem to recall the off-screen trick does work, and I don't know if what I just showcased is necessarily evidence of that or just, you know, luck of the draw. But it's one of those things that I remember doing when playing the game, and it's, you know, it's like the A plus B plus down argument for playing Pokemon games, trying to catch something. I still stand by it. I understand that, like, people tell me objectively, like, it doesn't do anything, but I can almost guarantee you, I can sit in a field and I could probably test it 100 times and at least do it the way that I did growing up. I swear you could adjust the odds. It's entirely me just like living in my own headspace, but like, you know, I swear by it and I'm gonna stand by it all the way until you will not convince me otherwise. All right, get on screen, you crazy lady. The only positive to homeless cats is I can see them walking to other places, although a couple of houses do have outdoor cats near where I live. Yeah, I've got a couple of outdoor cats as well myself, but that's because they are intended to be working cats. They are not just, I mean, obviously they are my pets and I care for them deeply, but they also serve a purpose in doing mousing in my area. Funny enough, my neighbor actually used to hate my cats, and I mean with a disturbing level of passion. They also do some gardening, and I recall that early on they hated my cats. There was some serious issues. There were like dust-ups between them, the house owner, and my cat, you know, chasing them out of the garden. And finally I was able to condition my cats not to go into their garden, right? And that was, you know, a lot of work. It took a fair bit of effort to make that happen. But I was able to condition my cats to not go over to their garden. Anyways, go figure, the next season rolls around where, you know, I have my garden, they have their garden. And the guy comes over and he's just like, hey, so I have a bit of an issue. How are you dealing with it? I've just got this terrible infestation with mice coming in and eating all of my produce and I don't know what to do. And I just look at him like, you dumbass motherfucker. What? Jeez, I wonder how the fuck you deal with mice in your garden. If only there was a solution for that problem. Alright, so I believe in this area, I actually want to go this way. I think what I'm looking for is the Got statue here. I don't think I'm necessarily going for any specific additional location. Okay, people are getting hurt heavily. Don't go down, Gardenia, I need you. Alright, just saw it. I didn't get it at first because I misread the last word, then I read it, and it was hilarious. Alright, I'm gonna have to take a look at that after the stream here. I just used my data drain skill on an enemy, and I'm walking away with their earthy rod. I just did the exact same thing on a lady here, and I got a wet rod. The fuck you getting at, game? So the wow. So the pudding is good. It does have that bitter chocolate taste. I did use stevia instead of just regular sugar. So like when you say that, when you refer to it as the bitter chocolate taste, would you say it's more akin to a dark chocolate and not just a chocolate that lacks sweetness? Or is this just like, you know, super bitter and it's just obvious that you used a heavy amount of cocoa powder? Because, like, if it's a good dark chocolate, I can still see that working out fairly well. Alright, ceramic helm, rainbow card, and the silver scarab. I don't think this is the item I was looking for. So the only other thing I can think of is there is a spot over to the side that has 2 treasure chests in it, which is not a particularly common layout in this game. And maybe what I'm looking for is out over there. Before I write it off, I should consider looking at the item and realizing that holy shit, it's actually really good. Holy shit, that's really good. Okay, so I can give this to Black Rose. I know Black Rose is going to be in my final party for the final boss of this disc. I know that dealing with that final boss in this disc is a pain in the ass because you have to dump. So I did get the item I was looking for. That's awesome. I just didn't know what it was called. You have to go through so many Mage's Souls and just hook Mistral up to this like it's an IV drip. Mistral is your primary damage dealer for most of the combat scenario there. Mistral is going to be wailing on it because all of the melee classes have to run up to it. Mistral, it doesn't matter where it is, Mistral is able to hit it. Mistral is your primary damage dealer, but you have to drip feed her anything to restore her SP at all times. This item, yeah, I know I can't use it, has a spell that allows the party to recover their SP over time. That is going to lengthen her ability to cast spells massively. So I know full well I'm going to be giving that to Black Rose. Sprite Ocarina? There we go. It's a good bitter, so leaning towards dark chocolate. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, as long as it's leaning into dark chocolate and it's not just rank nasty bitter, like I like a good dark chocolate, so I could still see that being tasty. And again, this does give me the party lineup I was going through. That showcases that a lot of the specialty locations in the game, I've mentioned this in another stream, but when you are going through and watching the OVAs or even I believe the animated series, there are going to be locations that they hint at. They're gonna like reference them by name, and if you go to those locations within certain discs, you kind of have to play around with it and know which discs that you're looking for to go to certain areas, but you can get rare items, and there's an example of one of them. White chocolate is the best tasting chocolate in my opinion, and yes, I know it's not real chocolate. When it comes to like basically what it is, and I'm not going to get into the is it a chocolate, is it not a chocolate. I like white chocolate myself, but, and I mean I really like white chocolate. But white chocolate, if I just had a brick of white chocolate, it is not something that I would want to eat a large amount of. Now that said, white chocolate with little bits of chocolate cookie crumbs in it, you know, a cookie and cream scenario, I love it. White chocolate coating over a strawberry, I prefer that over milk chocolate any day of the week. White chocolate over pretzels, same thing. White chocolate is a better enhancer for other foods than milk chocolate is, in my opinion. However, if I'm just going to eat a chocolate bar, I'll prefer milk chocolate. And if I'm looking for something to give me that sort of decadent element, I do switch over to a dark chocolate. But, you know, that's the way I look at it. Anyways, I am going to be wrapping up here. I've actually managed to at least meet the objective I was working towards in this stream. Next stream, we are going to be returning to Cassette Beasts. I'll probably play this a little bit in between, get myself to where I feel comfortable being at the end of the game, which I think is going to be in the ballpark of level 30. And then we will try to blitz our way through the story and manage to clear the rest of this out. One of the things about this game that is really cool, though, is carrying all of your data forward from one game to another. We will be able to save all of our equipment, all of our skills, all of the items, my money, my level. All of that will carry over from this game to the next. And unlike with many other RPGs, our level does not cap out at 99, at least as I recall. So there will be a lot of opportunities for me to build out here. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for stopping in. Apparently, I've got some things to go check out in the Discord, so I'm going to go get on that. But yeah, thank you so much. Hope to see you next time. As always, great to have you here. Bye-bye.